scared for my family.
See, and this guy is sitting up here saying that he's scared for his family. The person that should be scared, see, that's completely incorrect. You know what I'm saying? If somebody shot your kid, jail should be the safest place for them. Yeah, what up? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another video. So before we get started, you already know what to do. Make sure you smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the bell twice. If you don't hit the bell twice, just don't hit the bell. It's imperative. Hit it twice. It don't hurt. Try it. All right. So this is who they designated as the model minority. All right. And we're going to go into a couple of reasons why this is who they designated as the model minority. And remember, all subculture is a result of the dominant culture. All right. So when it comes to individuals like this fella here, he comes from a culture that is very similar to the dominant society here. They have an ingrained element of anti-black hatred in their native culture. If you look at what's going on in China right now, which China is on code with the United States and not providing any media coverage on, they have a high population of Nigerian students locked up in COVID-19 camps, quarantine camps, where a lot of those people are negative for COVID-19. So then you ask, why are they in quarantine? Well, that's a good question. They consider Asian people the model minority, not because of high graduation rates, not because of any significant societal achievements. They consider them one of the most easily acculturated minorities here in the United States because they have a built-in animosity for black people. All right. What is perpetuated by the mainstream media? What has been perpetuated in American law, in American history, and now they're making it illegal to talk about? Now, I find it interesting. The mainstream media, the population at large, and the government, they are doing everything possible to get rid of race debate, critical race theory, black history, but they're doing everything to bolster the alleged struggles that Asian Americans have gone through in this country. Now, if we're removing race conversations, then you have to ask yourself, why are we removing race conversations about one race, but we're perpetuating race narratives about another race? How does that make sense? For one, it doesn't. For two, Caucasians and Asians are the same race. So that's how you get away with that. It's all part of the minority manufacturing scheme that the United States government does in order to categorize people and create a top to bottom class structure based on visible appearance. And Asian people see that they have a place near the top. So while they're here in the United States, it's easier to comply. Because to become a part of that, all you have to do is just shit on black people, even if a black person ain't did anything to you. This guy has the majority of the United States backing him. This guy has law enforcement backing him, as evidenced by his low bail of $10,000. And he's getting the shield from the mainstream media. They're all on code. this guy shot a kid. He shot a 6-year-old kid in the arm, and he did exactly what he learned from the dominant culture. I was defending myself. Really? From a 6-year-old? Supposed to be a high IQ guy. And you come from a culture that has amazingly brilliant fighting techniques. You had to go run and get a gun. Running and getting a gun and aiming it at a black kid is something that he learned from this culture. He didn't learn that from gangster rap. He didn't learn that from MTV. He didn't learn that from BET. He learned it from the All Lives Matter crowd. He learned it from January 6th. He learned it from Candace Owens. And he learned it from everything that you see in the mainstream media in the way that black people are portrayed. And he learned that he can get away with it because he has a whole dominant culture that will back him, because hell, who cares about another dead nigga? Not my words. That's the words of the dominant society. So if you are subscribed to my other channel, Blacklight Revelations 2, I actually did a video on this. It was a short one. And in that video, we discussed how he got a $10,000 bail. Well, the All Lives Matter crowd, you know, those Pizzagate people that allegedly care so much about children. None of those people came to bat for this kid, ironically. Now, where's our signal boost of asking why? Where's Candace Owens' tweets about how this kid must have scared the crap out of this poor guy and he was justified in the shooting? Where is the justified shooting crowd at on this? Nobody's asking about all the other kids that were in the vicinity, because there was a lot of kids. They're all silent. Why? Because this doesn't fit their narrative. And that's why the media is illegitimate. That's why data is illegitimate. How is this not a hate crime? That kid is a part of 2 minority groups. For one, he's a minor. And for 2, he's black. Not a hate crime, though. Out of all those kids that were around there, the bullets hit the black kid. If you guys go back and watch my videos when they first started signal boosting the AAPI hate crime narrative, I told you that what you would see in the future is Asians starting to shoot and attack black people. Well, it's starting. This is the first of many. And expect $10,000 bails. Expect 5-year jail sentences for murders. Expect that. At some point, you have to ask yourself, well, how much to blame are we? We've allowed the dominant society to turn us, male and female, into a joke. There's no consequences. This guy's walking around free. There's more black people at risk of walking around in a black neighborhood and something bad happening to them than there is of this guy. But these are the same black people that call themselves tough and gangster. While they won't touch this man who killed a kid that could easily be theirs, but they will kill a random person for wearing the wrong colors. Mind you, the wrong colors that they didn't make any profit from selling. These are the same people who don't manufacture their own drugs. They buy them from a guy that looks like this. So let's actually get into this article, all right? Man who allegedly shot 6-year-old is back in custody after the court increases his bail following a community outcry. All right. So what happened was there was a neighborhood group or some type of advocacy group that ended up coming down, and they called the judge, and I believe they called the prosecutor a bunch of times, and they ended up being successful in getting the bail increase, because again, I think what he was being charged on was attempted murder or assault with intent to murder or something like that, and he only had a $10,000 bond. So let's listen to this little snippet that we have here.
After this accused shooter shot a little boy, he walks free, making bond on Tuesday. It has this family angry and confused.
And I'm trying to figure out how he got a bond that was so low for trying to kill my kid.
Arnold Dan
I don't understand why you're trying to figure that out, sir. You already know why he got a bond so low for trying to kill your kid. If you're trying to figure out why that happened, sir, you're living in a delusion. If you're living in a delusion, that delusion is a threat to you and your kid. And that's why he ended up in danger.
Daniel trying to figure out why Ryan Lee Wen is out of jail after allegedly shooting his son Kobe.
He tried to hit me with a sledgehammer, but that's not gonna work because I'm too fast.
So then what did he do?
Got a gun, boom, shot me right here.
It's all on video.
Now this ain't funny, but when I had did the video of this on my other channel, you know, I like to do the voice impressions. Man, I actually sounded like that kid, and I had never even heard him. That's funny, but not a funny situation, nonetheless.
Saturday afternoon on Candlewood Lane, you'll see kids playing, hear a gunshot, then Kobe realizes he's hit. Lee Wen allegedly.
Unbelievable. Look at what this model minority guy did. And remember, this is one of the reasons why he's considered a model minority. Just he knows, he has the confidence, he can just shoot a child with all those other kids out there and have nothing to worry about except for paying $1,000 cash with a bail bondsman.
Just 3 days after this accused shooter shot a little boy, he walks free, making bond on Tuesday. It has this family angry and confused.
And I'm trying to figure out how he got a bond that was so low for trying to kill my kid.
Arnold Daniel trying to figure out why Ryan Lee Wen is out of jail after allegedly shooting his son Kobe.
He tried to hit me with a sledgehammer, but that's not gonna work because I'm too fast.
So then what did he do?
Got a gun, boom, shot me right here.
It's all on video. Saturday afternoon on Candlewood Lane, you'll see kids playing, hear a gunshot, then Kobe realizes he's hit.
Now, pay attention to how this is a diverse neighborhood. And, you know, people like Candace Owens, you know what I'm saying? People like Larry Elder, all of those kind of idiots, they'll take my words and twist them. But don't you take my words and twist them. I'm not saying that anybody here should have got shot. Nobody should have gotten shot. Nobody's life was in danger. Nobody was being threatened, and you're dealing with some kids. But if you notice, this is a very diverse neighborhood. And pay attention to who he made sure he shot. This kid was running. Everybody was running. The little girl even came back and stood there. And he made sure of who he shot. Now, mind you, more than likely, if this guy was a legal gun owner, because I'm pretty sure he's a legal gun owner, because otherwise, if he had that gun illegally, that would have been part of his charges. Then he's taken a class, and he knows how to operate the gun, and he knows how to aim, and he knows how to shoot. So if he successfully shot this kid here, then he could have successfully, more than likely, there's a high probability that he could have shot anybody. He chose which one to shoot. And he chose which one to shoot because of those ingrained cultural elements.
Lee Wen.
Yeah, if you go back and look at this, there's a very brunette girl right here. There's a very blonde girl right here. And this guy looks like he could possibly be mixed or Latino. So this is a diverse neighborhood, a very diverse neighborhood. And this young child who is 6 is very standout, and obviously, you know, with the braids, you already know what time it is. That's who he was aiming at, because what he knows, this Asian man, what he knows from American propaganda is that there's consequences if he shoots any of these other kids. He knows he runs the least risk of punishment from the law and retaliation from the community if he shoots the kid with braids. That was his thought process. You have to remember, this is a guy that's designated a member of the model minority. We're working with a super duper high IQ. So he calculated all of that when he shot this kid.
Lee Wen allegedly fired through his front window. The bullet went in Kobe's arm and out the other side.
He's bleeding. He got shot. Kobe got shot. Andrew! Kobe got shot. Police!
Did it hurt?
Yes.
You point to it? Show us where it's
I mean, like, the kid is like looking at this newscaster like, bitch, are you dumb? She just asked me if this hurt.
just 3 days after.
Like, you can't make it up. Sometimes the kids have more sense than the adults, man. She literally asked him to get, like, look at how tiny his arm is
Just 3 days.
compared to hers. And she asked him, did that hurt? Of course that shit hurt. He got a bullet through his arm.
You point to it? Show us where it's at.
Right now, he's not even processing exactly what happened. You know, he don't realize how close he came to not being here. But I realize it.
29-year-old Lee Wen is charged with assault with intent to murder. He's apparently had issues with neighbors in the past, and this time, Dad Arnold suspects Lee Wen was mad Kobe's bike was in his yard.
I'm irate, really. I mean, I can't function, and I don't know what to do.
I mean, you don't really seem irate. Because, see, if you were irate, then either that guy would have been dead or they would have had to peel you off of him. But you don't seem irate.
Washtenaw County judge gave him a $10,000 cash bond, which he made Tuesday. This is him walking out, picked up by family.
Walking out, pay attention to that walk. No cares in the world. You know, he knows that he shot someone with a very low societal life value as calculated by the population at large and the government. So, you know, no big deal. Get my bail's bondman. Here goes $1,000. We'll deal with this when the court comes.
The prosecutor's office shocked at the low bond. They're filing an emergency motion to get it changed.
Now, how are you shocked when you're the one that recommended the bond? Because the bond recommendation comes from the prosecutor and the judge processes it and either approves it or denies it. A lot of times the judges will add some special circumstances to the bond, but I don't understand how this is some kind of surprise.
A judge's order not to return home, but it's a piece of paper, says Arnold.
I'm scared for my family.
See, and this guy is sitting up here saying that he's scared for his family. The person that should be scared, see, that's completely incorrect. You know what I'm saying? If somebody shot your kid, jail should be the safest place for them. Like, they should actually not be wanting to bail out. They should actually say, you know what? I'm surrounded by walls. There's police here 24/7. I'm actually more safe in jail. If I go back to my home, it gets dark. I have to run the risk of encountering this guy. But see, I mean, this is why this is one of the reasons why this kind of stuff happens. This is one of the kind of reasons why this stuff happens. Why? And you shouldn't even be scared. You didn't get shot. You didn't get attacked. Nothing happened to you. At some point, people need to make up their minds. Do you want to take your place within a crevice? Or do you actually want to be able to have the same rights, freedoms, and worth of life as everybody else and walk around and, you know, be able to be comfortable with exacting consequences when someone makes a stupid decision like shooting your child? If you're scared and you haven't defended your son from that situation, what do you think your son is going to grow up and do? What do you think your son is going to do? What knowledge do you think he's going to draw from? God forbid, but if he's confronted with a situation like that, he's going to refer to the cowardice that his father taught him. And if there's a generation of people growing up like that, then you have to expect that nothing is going to change and everything is going to get worse. There has to be consequences for someone shooting your child. And as you can see, the dominant society and their illegitimate law enforcement system is not going to do that. What they're going to do is reward them with a $10,000 bond and say, you know, you can walk around with no consequences. And, you know, if you get touched, then we'll protect you with the hate crime legislation. So you have to ask yourself, at what point are you willing to stand up for at least the life of your family? Come on, man.
You know, but I'm scared for them because I don't know what he's capable of.
Well, you better make sure you need to take away those capabilities. Like, you mean you this is the problem. This is when I did the video about Tulsa, I said the same thing. If you're worried about what somebody is capable of, then you make sure that you have a way to counter those capabilities, or either you take away those capabilities, or you put that person in a position where they can't use those capabilities. You have to start being aggressive. See, this dude is passive. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
In Ypsilanti, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
So what I think is that in this article, it basically goes over what was said in this video here. So I don't think that it's necessary for us to read this video for us to read this article. And like I said, I did a video on this before. So you guys can go to Blacklight Revelations 2 and check that video out. But let me know how you feel. Am I being too harsh on this guy, or is this accurate? I expect this kind of behavior. So it's not really this individual I'm going to criticize, because again, this is expected behavior. But I have to criticize that kid's father for living in a delusion and then saying the things that he did. I mean, I really don't understand what kind of message that was meant to give to the media. I'm the man of the house and I'm scared. I'm the man of the house and I don't know how I'm going to defend my family. What's your point in being there then? You can't protect your son. You didn't protect your son. And the threat is back across the street from you and you don't know what you're gonna do now. So you called in other men to back you up. Not a good look, in my opinion. But that is the look that the media would like. And that's why they gave you all that camera time. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. All right, watch the video all the way through to the end and click the square in the top left-hand corner when you get done. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, peace.